This is Investment Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Daily live streaming interactive featuring Mrs. Backup. Subscribe, hit the notification, smash the likes. Now, here's Backup Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Good morning and welcome back to Investment Perspectives, everybody. I want to start with a couple pieces of information that we need to keep up with. Things are happening quickly. What a difference a couple hours can make. Last evening, we had a few pieces of news really break that it's all the things that we need to keep an eye on. Yoshitaka Kitao from SBI, 10% early seed investor in Ripple, the company. So it's quite interesting because SBI has one of the largest Forex trading desks in the world, if not the largest in the world. So you can see that this is a huge connection we're going to talk about here, because Japanese holding company to use blockchain for Forex trading. So let's get into this. Japanese-based SBI Holdings announced April 16th yesterday that it will begin using R3 blockchain consortium technology for Forex trading. This will be the first practical application of the Corda blockchain in the country. According to the announcement published by Nikkei Japan, which is their trading platform, the technology will be implemented in conjunction with a Tokyo-based systems management services firm called CAC. The use of Corda, which will be restricted within the company, will be used to share transaction history among involved traders. It will additionally be implemented between SBI Securities and SBI's Forex platform liquidity market, otherwise known as SBI LM. Automizing Forex's transactions process, according to the company. Blockchain technology will allow SBI LM to automate confirmation processes in the foreign exchange transactions. Instead of using email phone confirmations. Regarding the announcement, SBI Holdings issued the following statement: "We have reduced the operational risk in the confirmation business and ensured high privacy protection and tamper resistance. Also, the blockchain guarantees the identity of transaction data between the parties and improves the reliability of coalition work." Now, David Rudder, CEO of R3, called SBI one of Corda's biggest champions. He also praised the announcement, noting it aims to strengthen the growth of the Corda platform in Asia. Well, that's because the FX trading desk at SBI is so enormous, it can really bring together the entire Asian market there. Okay, so a couple things. One, R3 used to be partnered with Ripple, right? They split, they worked out their differences, they split, but then R3 also carries the Corda platform, which is a platform where other companies like SBI and other companies can build platform or can build apps and solutions on top to integrate with their business. This is exactly what we've seen here in this situation, and they've shown us that as far as like identifying privacy protection, tamper resistance, this is how they're going at it to begin with, and it is in a limited fashion, it says too. So, but this is really exciting, because the reality is that we know Yoshitaka Kitao is an investor at Ripple. We know Yoshitaka Kitao has a 50-60 bank consortium. We also know that it's in their best interest to use XRP at some point throughout this process. So now, let's read this other half here and let's get moving to the next thing. So, creating blockchain integration awareness in Asia, SBI has been promoting new technologies such as blockchain integrations among other banks in Southeast Asia. Both R3 and SBI have claimed that the blockchain technology is going to help guarantee identity of transactions on the SBI LM. On the other hand, CAC assured that it would continue to support the use of blockchain in a wide range of industries. In early 2019, Telegraph reported the SBI Holdings announced a joint agreement with US-based R3 to develop local use of its Corda blockchain platform. So The Corda blockchain platform is, like I said, a place where these companies can come in and build solutions or bring their solutions to this platform. And the Corda platform offers the Corda settler as an option. The Corda settler is the option that provides the digital asset XRP for settlement. Currently, at this time, the only digital asset that can be used for settlement or is used for settlement on the Corda settler is XRP. So for me, this really looks like an enormous step towards that moment. Are we directly at that moment? No. But from what this tells us, they are walking towards this moment, and it is exactly the intention of it. Otherwise, what is the point? Right? What is the point? And it's obvious to me that the point is to get to a place where they can absolutely use XRP for settlement in this situation. So this is something that once this happens here, creates a domino effect, right? Once this FX desk absolutely taps into those resources, XRP being a part of those resources, you can forget about it. It's a domino effect. The other FX desks will need to do the same thing. It's just the way it's going to work. It's also the way Bob Way had said on this show here too, when we talked about central bank. Once you get two big banks using it, it's a domino effect. They're all going to have to use it because of the savings and the efficiency, the scalability, all of that, the security of it, and being able to protect the network. It's all the same thing in each corridor. You know, I think if you look at MoneyGram, because I think the knee jerk from some people that are still skeptical say, well, what about MoneyGram? We see them using it for 10% settlement or more now in the USD Mexican corridor. Why don't we see other remittance companies doing it? I personally believe the reason we haven't seen other remittance companies challenging and come in as competition in those same corridors is because they're using it to show they can scale. They're using it to show that the product works, that the system works. I believe that as I'm sitting here in this chair talking to you, because the truth is, I want to hear about more market makers coming into the same corridors and they all begin using XRP, because this is what will bring on the flywheel theory of the buy and buy back scenario of XRP, because there will be a race at that point within those corridors to compete to hold and use as much XRP as possible for market makers, not market participants, but market makers. Okay, let's keep this going. So more news about digital dollars being reintroduced onto the floor. The U.S. lawmakers in the latest stimulus bill, and this is not a long read, so you'll like this, and then it also brings us up to date what's going on. The concept of a digital dollar that can be used to provide U.S. taxpayers with stimulus payments to weather economic recession caused by the pandemic has once again been floated by lawmakers. We had a couple congresswomen introduce a new proposal to have federal government issue $2,000 per month to residents by minting a pair of $1 trillion coins and using these to back the payments. The Automatic Boost to the Communities Act, ABC Act, also brings back the idea of a digital dollar, describing the concept using similar language to a series of bills introduced last month. Under the ABC Act, Congress would authorize the Federal Reserve to create Fed accounts, meaning digital dollar account wallets, which would allow U.S. residents, citizens, and businesses located in the country to access financial services. Okay, so here we see that no later than January 1st, 2021, Secretary shall offer all recipients a boost payments the option to receive their payments in a digital dollar wallet. Thursday's bill read, the bill was introduced in the wake of ongoing issues with issuing $1,200 stimulus payments authorized under the CARES Act. The IRS has been sending payments to taxpayers. I personally have not gotten mine, but glitches have prevented numerous individuals from receiving their funds or even being able to verify their payment status, the Washington Post reported Thursday, accurately. Multiple mentions the digital dollar idea first appeared in the original form of the Take Responsibility for Workers and Families Act, introduced by the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and the Financial Protections and Assistance for American Consumers, States, Businesses, and Vulnerable Populations Act. introduced by the House Financial Services Committee Chair Maxine Waters, envisioning a Fed account system wherein Federal Reserve, the U.S. Central Bank, would manage bank accounts for every resident, allowing it directly deposit these payments. Notably, these digital dollars are not stable coins and do not appear to be based on a blockchain infrastructure of any sort. The digital dollar mentions were removed from the subsequent version of the Take Responsibility Act, and it was unclear whether Waters' bill made much progress. The idea was also brought up in an independent Senate bill introduced by Senator Brown, the ranking member of the Committee of Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. While the Senate is in recess, an individual familiar with the senator's thinking said his office still intended to pursue the legislation. Looking beyond the payments here, Thursday's bill goes beyond just stimulus payments. However, the bill notes that the Fed account holders should have access to a variety of services if it is passed, including debit cards, online access and automatic bill pay, mobile banking, and automatic teller machines maintained in conjunction with the United States Postal Service at its physical locations. Thursday's bill was co-sponsored by all of the mentioned. I'm not going to read them for you. The news came just hours after Libra Association announced it was modifying its white paper and plan for the Libra stablecoin. The entity spawned by Facebook last year now envisions launching a series of fiat-pegged stablecoins rather than just one multi-currency backed token. The Libra project was originally intended to help facilitate financial services for unbanked and underbanked individuals through this use of digital transfer mechanism. Morgan Ricks, an associate professor of Vanderbilt who helped provide input on the original digital dollar proposals, told CoinDesk that he and his associates have given advice at staff level, both House and Senate offices, over the past few weeks. It's great to see legislative attention to this. We think it's a transformative idea, he said. And I am inclined to agree with him, but there are issues. So they talked about Libra being the catalyst once again to government because of the challenges that exist there. And it's not just the challenges that exist for Libra, it's the challenges that exist that governments and central banks around the world get it figured out because they don't want a social media platform with 2.5 billion users to come up with a coin that works for them and ends up challenging fiat-backed currency. So, all right, so that's the real deal right there, and they will get it figured out. So looking at Libra, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you because I could just give you the overview here to wrap this up. And the wrap up on this is simply this. Libra started out and wanted to do a basket of reserve fiat-backed currencies, almost like an SDR style, and release a stable coin Libra off of that. Well, that got shot down. What's interesting here is now they've reverted back to we could release different stable coins pegged to individual currencies, a la a Libra pound, a la, or Libra sterling, right? A la a Libra euro, a la Libra USD. And you'd have a stable coin for each region. I personally like this idea just because of the fact that it's as simple as you're loading your money, $100 up on your Libra account for Facebook, and now you have Libra dollars, right? That's just how I see it. I don't think that's much of a challenge to anything, is the way it's pretty much put forward here. So in my eyes, I just like it because there's more walled gardens, and I don't see any of this happening unless it built on a private network on the ledger. So pretty exciting stuff, and it's all the stuff that we need to keep an eye on. So happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget, we got 10 a.m. this morning. Cryptopolis co-host will be on the show. We're going to discuss this and so much more about the things that have been happening, and there's a lot that is unfolding at once. So make sure you tune in. If you like the content here, we ask that you share it with somebody that you know and on a social media platform, and let's keep this thing going. We will see you guys on the next one.